The locker room door slammed shut with a bang that echoed off the metal lockers like a final whistle. "You're out, Bennett. I don't care how good you are. There's no place for a gay guy on my squad." Coach Mark Reynolds barked, his face twisted in disgust as he tossed Ryan Bennett's jersey at his feet. Ryan, the 23-year-old star forward for the New York Red Bulls Academy team on the verge of a pro contract, stood frozen, the words hitting him harder than any slide tackle he had ever taken. Just hours earlier, he had scored the game-winning goal that sent the crowd roaring. Now the same teammates who had lifted him on their shoulders stared at the floor in awkward silence. Ryan's throat tightened. "Coach, please, this is my life. I've given everything to this team." Reynolds crossed his arms, voice cold. "I saw the photos your so-called friend sent. Hugging that guy after practice like it was nothing. This is a man's sport, Bennett. Pack your stuff and get out. The team doesn't need that kind of distraction." The betrayal stung deeper than the words themselves. Ryan knew exactly who had taken the pictures. Teammate Derek, the one he had trusted with small hints over the years. He gathered his bag in silence, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like a swarm of angry bees. Outside, the California sun felt mocking as he walked to his car. The drive back to a small apartment in Carson blurred with tears he refused to let fall until he was alone. When he finally dialed his boyfriend Alex, a quiet graphic designer he had met at a low-key Pride event in West Hollywood 9 months ago, the words barely came out. "He fired me, Alex, for being gay." Alex's calm voice cut through the panic. "We'll figure this out. Come over. You're not alone in this." That night, Ryan lay on Alex's couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of his carefully built life. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood in Newark, New Jersey, with a father who had played semi-pro soccer and drilled toughness into him since he could kick a ball, Ryan had learned early to bury who he really was. Late-night practices, weekend tournaments, college scouts, everything had been about the game. He had dated girls in high school just to keep the rumors away, always polite, always distant. The guilt had eaten at him, but the fear of losing the only identity he knew kept him silent. Until Alex. Their first coffee date had turned into hours of talking about everything from favorite players to childhood dreams. For the first time, Ryan felt seen without the jersey. Now that safety net was gone. The next morning, the Academy sent a brief email. Ryan Bennett released for personal reasons. Social media exploded with speculation. Ryan turned off his phone and drove to the beach, sitting on the sand, watching waves crash while the internal storm raged. Was he selfish for wanting both love and the career he had bled for? His phone buzzed with a message from his mother back in New Jersey. "Call us, honey." Dad saw the news. He knew that conversation would break something inside him. Alex sat beside him later that evening, hand resting gently on his shoulder. "You spent your whole life proving you belong on that field. This doesn't erase that." Ryan nodded, but the doubt lingered. The coming days would test every part of him. Family, friends, and a man he was still learning to become. Ryan's mother picked up on the second ring, her voice already thick with worry. "Sweetheart, what's going on? Your father is pacing the kitchen like he's about to coach a championship game himself." Ryan swallowed hard, the words sticking like dry grass. "Mom, I'm gay. Coach found out and fired me." The line went quiet for what felt like forever. Then came the soft sob he had dreaded. "Oh, Ryan, we love you. We always will. But your dad, he's from a different time. Give him a minute." When his father finally took the phone, the disappointment was a physical blow. "Son, I pushed you because I saw greatness. This changes everything. How am I supposed to explain this to the guys at the bar?" Ryan hung up feeling smaller than he had since he was 10 years old, missing his first penalty kick. The rejection from the man who had shaped his entire world cracked something deep inside. Back in Los Angeles, Alex tried to fill the silence with normalcy. Cooking pasta, playing old soccer highlight reels, even suggesting they take a drive up the coast. Ryan appreciated it, but the emptiness in his chest grew. He started running miles every morning just to outpace the thoughts. His best friend from the academy, Marcus, showed up at the apartment one afternoon unannounced. "I didn't know, man. Derek's an idiot for outing you like that. Some of us are pissed at Coach, too." It was a small lifeline, but it reminded Ryan that not everyone had turned away. Days blurred into weeks. The academy offered a quiet severance and a non-disclosure agreement. Ryan signed it, too numb to fight. He spent afternoons at a small community soccer field watching kids play, remembering why he fell in love with the game in the first place. Alex sat on the grass beside him one evening. "You're more than the jersey, Ryan, but I know you miss it like breathing." That honesty cracked the wall Ryan had built. For the first time, he cried in front of someone without shame. Meanwhile, across town, Coach Reynolds was dealing with his own fallout. Attendance at practice dropped slightly. A few parents quietly asked questions. He brushed it off, telling the staff it was team discipline. Deep down, he felt the first flicker of unease, but pride kept him from admitting it. Ryan's journey of rebuilding began in small steps. A therapy session, Alex gently suggested, late night talks about what kind of future he actually wanted. The man he was becoming was scared, but no longer willing to hide completely. The therapy sessions felt like running wind sprints without a finish line. Dr. Patel, a calm woman with a soft voice, asked questions Ryan had never let himself answer out loud. "What part of you died the day Coach fired you?" The answer came slowly. The version of himself that believed love and soccer could never coexist. Alex waited outside every time, never pushing, just present. Their relationship deepened in the quiet moments. Shared groceries, Sunday morning coffee runs, Alex sketching while Ryan watched old matches. For the first time, Ryan felt loved without conditions. News of his release spread beyond the academy. A small independent league in Oregon reached out, offering a trial. Ryan flew up for a weekend, played his heart out, and earned a spot on the roster. It wasn't MLS money, but it was soccer. He called his mother with the news. She cried happy tears. His father stayed silent on the call, but sent a short text later, "Proud you're still fighting." It wasn't forgiveness, but it was a crack in the wall. Back in LA, Ryan and Alex celebrated with a quiet dinner on the balcony. "You're glowing," Alex said, brushing hair from Ryan's eyes. The kiss that followed felt like coming home. Yet Ryan still woke some nights with the old fear. What if the new team found out and the cycle repeated? Marcus texted regularly with updates from the academy. "Coach is acting weird. Keeps snapping at everyone. Team morale is trash." Ryan felt a strange mix of satisfaction and pity. One afternoon, Ryan received an unexpected call from a lawyer. "Mr. Bennett, we represent a major sports apparel brand that's negotiating a sponsorship with the Red Bulls organization. They heard about your situation and want to talk about a possible diversity initiative. Would you be open to a conversation?" Ryan hesitated. The idea of going public still terrified him, but something in him had shifted. He agreed to a meeting. That night he told Alex everything. "If I do this, my name will be out there forever." Alex squeezed his hand. "Then the world will know the man I love is brave." The decision felt like the first real step toward owning his story instead of hiding from it. The sponsorship meeting took place in a sleek downtown office overlooking the city. The brand representative, a sharp woman named Lauren, slid a folder across the table. "We're close to signing a multi-million-dollar deal with the Red Bulls. One clause we insisted on is a strict no-discrimination policy. Your case came up in our research. If Coach Reynolds' decision violated that, it could jeopardize the entire contract." Ryan listened stunned. He had expected pity or token support, not leverage. Lauren continued, "We'd like you to consider being part of a new ambassador program. No pressure to play for the Red Bulls again, but your story could help change things for the next generation." Ryan left the meeting with his head spinning. That evening, he and Alex walked along the pier, the ocean breeze carrying the weight of possibility. "This could be huge," Alex said, "but only if you're ready." Meanwhile, Coach Reynolds sat in the general manager's office receiving the same news. "The sponsor is threatening to pull out unless we address the Bennett situation. They want a public statement and possible reinstatement talks." Reynolds felt the floor drop. "He's gone. I made a call for the team." The GM shook his head. "That call might cost us millions. Fix it." Ryan's life continued in Oregon with a new team. Practices were smaller, but the joy returned. He scored in his first match and heard genuine cheers. Alex flew up for the weekend, and They spent hours talking under the stars. Ryan opened up about the sponsor offer. I don't want to go back. I want to move forward. Alex smiled. Then that's your answer. Back in New York, Reynolds paced his office late at night. The team's performance had slipped without Ryan's speed and vision. Players asked questions he couldn't answer without admitting his prejudice. The internal regret grew, but pride still held it at bay. The sponsor contract was signed with one condition: a meeting between Ryan, Coach Reynolds, and the brand executives. Ryan flew down from Oregon, heart hammering as he entered the conference room. Reynolds looked older, lines deeper around his eyes. The coach extended a hand that Ryan shook without warmth. I was wrong, Reynolds said quietly once the executives stepped out. I let fear and old thinking ruin a good player. The team suffered. I suffered. Ryan had rehearsed this moment for weeks, yet the words still surprised him. You didn't just fire a player, coach. You tried to erase who I am. Reynolds nodded, eyes down. The sponsor contract has a clause that could have voided the whole deal because of what I did. Millions on the line. My job. Everything. The truth hung heavy. Ryan realized the regret wasn't just about money. It was about losing the trust of a team he had built for 15 years. After the meeting, Ryan walked with Alex along the same beach where he had once sat broken. I turned down reinstatement, he told him. Oregon feels right, and I accepted the ambassador role. I want to help other kids not have to hide. Alex pulled him into a tight embrace, the sunset painting them gold. For the first time, Ryan felt completely free. Reynolds returned to practice the next day, a changed man. He gathered the team and made a short statement about respect and growth. Some players nodded, others remained skeptical. The sponsor money came through, but the coach knew the real cost had been personal. Months later, Ryan stood on the sideline of a youth soccer clinic he helped organize through the sponsor program. Kids from all backgrounds laughed and kicked balls under the bright California sun. Alex filmed from the sidelines, pride clear in his smile. Ryan's father had finally visited, watching a session in silence before pulling his son aside. I was wrong too. Took me too long to see it. The hug that followed healed old wounds. Back in New York, Coach Reynolds watched game film alone one evening and paused on an old clip of Ryan scoring. He picked up his phone, typed a short message, and sent it. Proud of the man you became. Sorry I couldn't see it sooner. Ryan read it later that night and showed Alex. No dramatic reconciliation, just quiet acknowledgement. Ryan's new team made the playoffs. He scored the winning goal in the semifinal and lifted the trophy with teammates who knew exactly who he was and cheered louder for it. That night, sitting on the hotel balcony with Alex, Ryan looked at the city lights and felt the full weight of his journey. The loss, the pain, the growth, the love. The sponsor contract had forced a reckoning, but Ryan's real victory was choosing himself. True or false? A single contract can truly erase years of prejudice. Or does real change only happen when people choose to grow beyond the money?